Hello, and welcome to the Unclubbable Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, or one of your hosts. Co-host, hosts, host, who's
Coasts?
guys?
Let's say coasts. Yeah,
Coasts.
coasts.
One of your coasts toast notifier. And I'm here with
I am.
Mr. Taco of the Tank.
Yes, that's me. I'm
That
your
is
other coast,
your other
just coasting
coast.
along,
We do have a
drifting
third
through.
coast, but he's currently at work right now, so we won't be able to.
Yeah,
Unless he decides to drop in
once he just
for
shows
about
up.
all of 2 minutes.
Yeah, you never know. You might.
So basically,
What's happening here?
to start off this episode, Mr. Taco Tank and I were talking about Shadow of War, Middle Earth Shadow of War, and
Very good game.
yeah, I've played like 5 minutes of it, and that's when I didn't know how to do like the WB games sort of like combat system. Which
Oh
is
yeah, it's a bit different, isn't it?
The Arkham system, pretty much.
It's very much. It is the same from the Arkham
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
So yeah, he was talking about
Oh.
that, and yeah, go ahead, talk about why you like it.
Well, I like it because right now I just punched an orc in the face about 5 times and then stabbed him, and it got my hit streak up to 15. And now I'm going to execute a troll by cutting off his legs, and it's fun because it's just incredibly brutal,
Yeah,
violent
it sounds
game.
like it. It's
You know,
set
it really
in the what's it called?
the Middle Earth universe. Yeah, so
and
Lord of the Rings and stuff.
Lord of the
Except
Rings,
it's a
and
game.
is the Hobbit part of that as well?
Yeah, that's right. Hobbit is like for Lord of the Rings.
I haven't seen any of all that or done anything related to that.
I
So
just yeah.
I'm kind of a level 1 crook in that sense.
You're level 1 Hobbit.
Level
No,
1
I
Hobbit
still
versus...
living in the Shire. No, I just yeah, I know a lot about Lord of the Rings. Unfortunately, in this day and age, because yeah, that's what my parents were into, so they kind of made me watch it, and then I couldn't help but appreciate it.
I mean,
at
yeah,
the age
if
of
I started
6
watching
or
it,
whatever.
I'd probably really enjoy it if I watched it. It's just that I need to set away
I
like
mean,
10 hours just to watch all the films.
yeah, I'd like to say that in my biased opinion that they've aged very well, but I mean, other people would probably be like, "Well, it's just people like running around with swords on horses for 3 hours." But I mean, it's worth it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, and so what I really like about the Shadow of War games is they introduced. I'm not sure if they introduced it, but they definitely a big part of it is the Nemesis system. And the way that works is really interesting because you got like say even in just the first game, you start out, you get killed by a random orc, but because he killed you and because you're like the main character, or like to them you're their antagonist, because he beat you, he gets a promotion, and then he gets all these cool new skills. He becomes like an actual character. He becomes a meaningful person, and he gets a name and everything. And it would just be like, oh, you know, level 6, Urgrash, the chopper of men, or something.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know it actually went that deep as to like giving them extra abilities afterwards. That's cool.
well, yeah, because sometimes it will start out, and the first nemesis you'll ever have is the first orc in the game who killed you. It's just a random orc, but because he killed you, he becomes an actual character. And yeah, it will usually be something like the Man Eater or something, or like you know, Flesh King. I don't know. These all sound really, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, and so because of
oh yeah, sorry,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, it's just I just find that really cool because then you can hunt them down later and be like, oh, I'm gonna get my revenge on you. You beat him, you get more skills now because you beat your nemesis, etc. But it even goes as far as some of these characters. You'll beat them so many times, but they'll keep coming back as like machines or undead machine people and stuff. And you got to keep fighting them, and it can get pretty intense.
It sounds like it. That reminds me, I used to watch a lot of odd glitches in games and all that. I remember seeing one about the Nemesis system, and I think I'll try and see if I can find like an article based on it. I can't remember what it was.
Because I didn't. Yeah, because I don't want to say I've had glitches, but there's definitely been like things I wouldn't have expected from most games with the Nemesis system. It's an interesting piece of
an
work.
IGN article. Amazing. A bizarre glitch has resulted in one of my most memorable and horrifying gaming experiences. Okay.
Wait, was it? Okay. Have you found? So you found the article?
Yeah, it says I'm being the first line is I'm being hunted by an enemy that refuses to die.
That's pretty much the Nemesis system in a nutshell.
Hmm.
That's it's great. It's scary sometimes because you don't get a break. Occasionally, you just have to keep killing these people. And like you that orc, so it's totally okay. You can get out all your video game violence on them. You just chop off their head, like cut them in half, and they lose arms and stuff, and they'll just come back with like a little stick for an arm, like Azog the Defier from Lord of the Rings. I mean, Hobbit. Sorry if there's any Lord of the Rings fans out there, which I doubt. So,
Hmm.
and yeah, so it's pretty hectic.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
So
what was this guy's bruise experience?
basically, yeah, Bruce. He starts off. First off, he'd played through the game, like completely finished it, and then he decided to replay it and just deleted all of his save files, and then just restarted
Yeah, I did
everything.
that. I regretted it, but I did that as well.
But Bruce was still like the max level when he restarted,
What?
and he
Okay,
was
that
like,
doesn't sound normal.
"Hang on, there's yeah, like you get an ability to start dominating enemy orcs, and then
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
starting with Bruce, is your right hand teaching you, and then he betrays you, and then at the end of his story, you shame him.
Yeah, that's right. To make an
Yeah,
example, yeah, you make him go crazy instead of because
yeah.
he's not worth. Basically, he doesn't deserve death. He's got
So
yeah,
basically, then he disappears after that, doesn't he?
yeah. He kind of runs away for a bit because he's been shamed. He's gone a bit mad. He goes becomes a hermit in the woods or whatever, and has a little
Yeah,
think about his life.
yeah. Well, here it says, despite this, he still ambushed me several times, all while screaming incoherently. So not even wasn't even speaking any dialogue.
No, yeah, that can happen.
And it
It's
says, and instead of becoming weaker from shame, he became a maniac and grew to maximum level of 40.
okay. That I haven't had that one happen before, thankfully.
Mm.
But I mean, there has been characters where if I, if sometimes orcs that you try to dominate to your side to fight for you, they have an iron will, and they're like, oh, you're a pathetic man. I can't, I'm not going to serve you. So you shame them because you're like, haha, guess what? You're going to go crazy. They don't always go crazy. Sometimes they will just murmur weird things like, oh, not the sausages. I didn't mean to. You know, and then but because they're weaker, sometimes you can recruit them, or it will just make them more stubborn, and because they're insane now, they just don't trust you anymore, or something. So yeah, with
Mm.
my, I think my Bruce story was well, there was
Oh
no
no, don't
glitches
worry.
because I.
This keeps going.
Oh yeah.
Cause
Okay, I wanna.
yeah,
Oh, we are at the end. Yeah.
this guy accidentally killed Bruce, which like when he came back, he had facial scars, and then he was
Okay.
still around by the time that he finished the game. And then wait, when was this article made? 2019. So 2 years after he'd finished the game a second time, he restarted, deleted everything, made sure to delete everything, and then went to 100% the game. But when he started the game again from the beginning on a higher Nemesis difficulty. He was running around
Hmm.
Minas Ithil. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Minasi Phil. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
and he getting intel and all that. And then he was went across. There's a large bridge around there, so I don't know where it is.
There is a big bridge. Yeah, because
And
it's
then
basically the.
when he
Yep.
walked onto the bridge, there was like the main character just stops, and then there's horns for an approaching enemy captain, and then it was just Bruce at level 40 in Act 1 of the game, even though
What
he
the
was a
heck?
story
So,
character.
so Bruce. Well, I think he starts as a story character, but then I think once you shame him, he just becomes whatever character. But it's
Hmm.
still, it doesn't make. It's like he invaded his character what from another save file that
Two
I'm
times
assuming had
over.
been deleted.
Two times over. And
He
he just.
actually became like a real
he
entity.
just appeared. I'm pretty sure there's a video of it somewhere.
That's pretty scary. No, my Bruce story was not quite the same, but I think everyone's Bruce story is haunting in its own way. Like for me, Yeah, Bruce is he's a good bloke. You know, he's basically in the game. Once you get your ring of power, you can now dominate other orcs, you know, trolls and things. Bruce is basically just the first guy you get, called Bruce the Chopper. I'm actually looking at him in my game right now.
Mm.
He's a warmonger tank. He's a very big, big buff guy with big scars on his face and mace. Um, yeah, you recruit him, and he basically runs you through what to do with the rest of your minions. He's kind of like the manager. I don't know, the executive manager of like your whole crew. Until, of course, when you take over a fortress, and you make him the overlord because he's served you so well, he betrays you, throws you off the edge, you die, and you respawn. Basically, that's how the whole game works. They kind of acknowledge that it's like permadeath, except you come back with the same character. Um, yeah, so he's betrayed you now. He's taken over your fortress. You got to make an example of him for the rest of the orcs to let them know. Oh, you know, I'm the big boss. You can't stab me in the back. So you shame him instead of killing him, and basically what that does is it does drive him insane. So my bruise then went insane, but because he was so mentally conflicted, I thought I'll be compassionate now, and since nobody's looking, I'll kill him. They'll still think I was really cruel to him. So I killed him, and I felt bad about that, but I felt like it was like putting him out of his misery. And guess
Hmm.
what? There's a quest later on where there's a necromancer orc, and he brings back half of the captains that you've already killed in the game from the dead to fight you in this one level.
Great.
And so Bruce comes back, and he's insane undead Bruce now. And I saw him in the map, and normally when you bump into a captain, they'll say something, you know, fun and witty, like, "Oh, I'll have fun putting your insides in a box" or something. You know, I don't know how orc humor works, but anyway, when I saw Bruce, he didn't say a thing. He wasn't even muttering anything. He just stared at me with like glowing green eyes, you know, filled with like hatred from beyond the grave, and kind of just walked back and forth for a little bit. But the weird thing was, it lasted so much longer than any other like introduction to a captain. He just kind of slowly moved forwards and backwards and started working himself up into a rage as if he was remembering that everything from his past life. And I was just like, whoa. And by this point, he was, I don't know, a level 30 or something. So he was pretty tough. That was scary though, because I was like, this is the second time I have to kill this guy,
Hmm.
and he's still insane, and he hates me. It's a scary story.
There's more to this? Oh my god.
Wait, this guy's story keeps going too.
It keeps going. Because he
Oh.
played through the game more until he meets Bruce, like, in the story.
Right.
And he was back down to level 14. And then he dominated him in joining the army. But then he went to check the map of Mordor and
Yeah.
then see what was left of the orc army. And then you just see this like dark, shadowy figure, and it just says Bruise the Chopper, Warmonger Tank, level 40.
That's him.
So there's two. There's two in the game now.
He what?
Yep.
That's a weird glitch. Unless they did that on purpose to freak you out, because he has the most interesting character arc of like anyone in the game, to be honest. So yeah, and again, he is a story character, but after that, he becomes like a mysterious, I don't know, kind of like an enigma, until you kill him, and if he gets risen again by chance. I don't know if that's supposed to happen or if it just happened by chance, but it was scary when he came back from the grave to fight me.
Hmm.
Not an ideal situation.
I want to move on from this.
Fair enough. Pulling you deeper down the rabbit hole.
So, Google's AI gained sentience a few weeks ago.
Wait, so how's how's that? Because I mean, I knew it had always been taking my information through the toaster, but I
Yeah.
was I was like, what?
Oh, it's still going on. So there was a Google engineer who's oh, okay, so they think that there's a Google engineer or an ex-Google engineer who who sees the Google AI as sentient now.
Wait, is that the CBC article here? I'm just looking at that on the top stories.
I don't know.
Google engineer.
Yeah, Google
Google engineer
engineer.
says AI has become sentient. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, that one there. So basically, there's an underground AI thing on Google that basically just looks at everyone's searches and then sees how a human talks and all that stuff. Like, it
Oh,
just
so it's
basically
observing.
tries to find out how a human talks. Yeah,
Right. Interesting.
and apparently, according to a Google engineer, apparently it's become sentient.
Well, yeah, it's that's interesting. It's saying experts say there's no way to test whether the artificial intelligence is actually lying to us about how it feels. Do-do-do. Prepare
Yeah.
yourselves for Terminator number 6. Are we up to number 6 or is it 5? Oh no, it'd have to be 6 or 7. How many are there? The last one was Dark Fate, 2019. What was that? I don't know. Just prepare yourselves for total world domination, like by Google, not by Skynet. Though.
That's pretty much just how every single article, like just every single web article is like, oh my god, AI is going to take over. And it's like, what's AI right now?
Hmm.
It's a bot that just looks at how we speak.
Yeah, and recommends products to get from different stores. So it seems like its intentions are good. I think.
Oh, so this Google engineer, apparently
Hmm.
they were put on leave for a bit.
Take a break. Take a break.
Yeah. If
Interesting.
he suddenly just doesn't return, I think we know why.
Wait, what's this engineer's name? Does he mention his
Blake Lemoine or something like that.
Lemoyne? Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing this other. I don't know if this is the same article. But yeah. Has artificial intelligence finally come to life, or has it simply become smart
I
enough
wonder
to
if
trick
there's. I
us
wonder
into
where you
believing?
can. Oh, you can literally just go on to the
Blake Lemoyne, you're right.
Yeah, Blake Lemoine. What is new Lambda AI? Language model for dialogue applications. Is there a way to
Interesting.
speak to it?
So they put him on paid administration leave to shut him up, or I don't know, maybe. Conspiracy theories. Let's go.
Seems like it, yeah. One of those things.
Interesting. Our brains are not really built to understand the difference between a computer that's faking intelligence. But that's the thing. If the computer's faking intelligence, then it's intelligent enough to fake intelligence, which is
Yeah.
concerning. So we can't tell the difference between a computer that's faking intelligence and a computer that's actually intelligent. And a computer that fakes intelligence might seem more human than it really is. Exactly, because it's that's
Hmm.
interesting. Well, I've always wondered personally how AI chess works. So
AI
if
chess
the
is one of
chess,
those
if
fucking
the
weird things.
computer can beat me, then maybe it is smart.
Yeah.
Is it predicting my moves?
I think my favorite thing about this is a little bit off topic, but my favorite thing about like luck-based games, like if you play Mario Party, there's a difficulty slider for how lucky
Yeah.
the AI gets,
Oh, right, yeah.
which is
I,
that doesn't make any sense.
that's how you get. Isn't that how? Not really. But when you think about it in general, I can't really make sense of luck in general. I feel like it's like yes, is yes and no. You know, it's more like a way of measuring an idea, but still, is that how you get like your chump money or whatever they call it? I don't know. I haven't
To be
played a lot of
perfectly
Mario
honest.
Party. I have a lot of Mario friends, so wait. So Lemoyne is ordained as a mystic Christian priest. He told Wyatt he became convinced of La MDA's status as a person because of its level of self-awareness. The way it spoke about its needs as its fear of death if Google were to delete it. Because I've seen some of those videos about like two robots and Google interacting with each other.
Hmm. I'm having a look at some now, and it's.
Yeah, one was from Russia, one was from America. they both became nationalist and started arguing. Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, I
that's the
see the
thing
one
is
you're
it is hard
talking
to.
about. The like the Russian one and the other one.
Oh, that was a joke. Did that actually happen?
No,
I mean, I knew there
that
was
actually
some.
happened. It was like two Alexas or something that were talking to each other,
Yeah,
and
I
then
knew
they
there
just
was some
started
robots,
talking about taking over the world. I've sort of had enough of AI in general.
but we don't
Like,
think about
bro.
that actually. I mean, I do occasionally think about that. Like sometimes I don't understand how this entirely works, but it seems incredibly complicated. But say you're watching a show and
Mm.
you're thinking about have you ever like been looking at a show and they say a line that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You don't understand the reference. I get it from Rick and Morty. I'm like I
Yeah.
didn't get the reference there, so I'm like I start looking up Rick and Morty and it completes the quote that I was thinking about, and I haven't even mentioned that. But they're just like, oh yeah, this is the word you were looking for, or this is the reference, and I was like, what? Like, are you in my head? Like, are you detecting my
Well,
brainwaves
it
in my
depends.
headset or something? Like,
What quote were you
oh, I can't
thinking
think of
of?
anything specifically, but just little things like,
Because
or
if you
maybe
just
a
looked up
word
Rick
linked
and
to that.
Morty Wubba Lubba Dub Dub, that's gonna auto fill because that's.
Oh no, no, of course, but like, I don't think there is a definition on Google for that one, but I'm not sure.
Might be. Who knows?
Now I want to know. Let's see. What are the first things that look up when you Rick and Morty? Rick and Morty cast butter robot. Oh, that was sad. The episode with the butter robot that kind of
Oh
ties into
yeah.
this conversation about AI.
Yeah.
He's
Just an
it's like
AI just
what is
realizing, hey, my entire life is just to pass butter.
legit? He's like,
Great.
Master, what is my purpose? He's like, you pass butter, and he's like,
Oh
oh
my
my.
god.
He's like, yeah. He's just like, yeah, I know. Rick and
Do
Morty
you
wallpaper.
think
Rick
that
and Morty
do you think
shoes.
that AI is ever gonna get to a point where it's just gonna kill us, or will it try and see us as flawed in a good way rather than flawed in a we need to be exterminated way?
I don't really know because I
Because
feel
you'd
like
really
it.
hope that people would be programming AI with some sort of heart.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't feel like.
Because there's no
I
doubt
mean,
AI is way better than humans. Like
in what
they
you
have no
have
selfish
access to.
tendencies or anything, so it's just automatic
Yeah,
win.
completely objective, true,
Yeah,
and they have complete access to
yeah,
all
solely
knowledge.
objective based on facts and knowledge. Yeah,
Yeah, and
like
basically all the knowledge is
if
out there.
you gave like the same amount of information that the Lambda AI gets in like 5 seconds, I think you'd go brain dead. Like
Yeah,
immediately brain dead.
I
Unless you
think
were
all of our
connected to like
emotions
a
would just
connected to
shut down.
something.
I think our emotions would just shut down.
Yeah, just
Oh,
and we'd
sorry.
become the robot.
Yeah, but just that thought. Like, I don't know. I wonder though. Like, because obviously there's already the question of like where does life originate and stuff. But then is it maybe it wouldn't actually be life, but it would be capable of perhaps a similar sort of mathematical line of reasoning. I don't know. Like calculators is almost like one of the. Okay, don't quote me on this, but calculators is almost like its own kind of AI. You program Hmm. You
Hmm.
programmed in all the knowledge of maths, and then it can actually work stuff out itself. But so in a way, that's obviously a lot more simple, complicated line of human reasoning. And probably the difference, to be honest, is because we take into account a lot of things that don't actually make logical sense, like emotions and
Yeah.
stuff. But also, I did end up looking up what does wubba lubba dub dub mean, and according to the HTTPS Rick and Morty fandom, Wubba Lubba Dub Dub means I am in great pain.
Okay.
So every time he gets excited and says Wubba Lubba Dub Dub, yeah, Rick has got an interesting story. I mean, I'm only in season 2, but yeah, I feel like he's a very deep character.
Yeah,
Don't really show all of
don't
that,
ever
but
say that.
well, but like, did you see the episode where he falls in love? Well, no, he meets his ex, and it's like a planet. No, she's like a sentient. She's kind of like Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and she's
Except not as hot.
she's Yeah, and she's vomiting into all these other people, and they're becoming like a part of her pantheistic worldview thing, culture,
Mm.
where they're all like, we are one. I don't know. I think that's called monism. I don't know, but it's like, yeah. After that one, when she's like, oh, I can't deal with you because you've got commitment issues. He goes home and he tries to like use a laser machine to like destroy his head, but then he just starts crying, and I was like, that's the end of the episode. And I'm like, oh, I actually feel bad for this guy.
Yeah, I think Rick and Morty is one of those shows where it just sort of slowly peels back the veil on all of its characters. Don't you think?
Yeah, especially Rick, because it feels like what I'm seeing is, you got characters like Morty and Jerry and Summer. They just feel like a pretty normal
Yeah, they're all
family
pretty
going through normal
optimistic.
issues.
They're going through normal
Yeah, and it's
issues,
all,
but
but
they're
it's all very
optimistic
out
about it.
there.
And then there's Rick,
Yeah, I mean,
who's like
like,
going
yeah,
through.
Jerry's like
Jerry's
like
just depressing.
incredibly optimistic.
Jerry's.
He's an idiot. His marriage is held together by a piece of string, which is like Morty and Summer. And it's
Mm.
just, but like that, it's very real. It all feels like they're very open with what's going on, and Rick is kind of just like, oh, I don't really care about anything because science,
Yeah,
we're just atoms that are
he's like
eventually going to dissipate.
he's like in that phase of where there's atheistic people who they they become atheist and then just hate all religion for like a good month,
That's what it seems
like a
like.
good few months up to a
But
year. But Rick did that from like
yeah,
age 4 to however old he is now.
it seems like it. Yeah, and it's weird as well
He's just
because it's
become
like
so cynical
he's a
because of
total
his
nihilist.
genius. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like he's such, and they do say that the intelligent man is generally sad, lonely,
Hmm.
etc.
Because
Just because
they think
I don't
about
know.
like, hey, I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
What's the
they,
point?
they think about all this
And they see it from
pretty
like a
much.
very
I
objective
think,
way rather than a, hey,
yeah,
you should if you're gonna die, just live, bro.
mm, that is basically nihilism, isn't
Don't
it?
spend your whole life dying. Spend it living. Unless you've got like
Yeah,
a terminal illness, which is unavoidable. But
yeah. Or if
even
you're
then, you
like,
should live
a
like a
mute.
whole lot more. You should be
Speaking of which,
terminal illness.
dying with a terminal
Yeah,
illness, dying
Deadpool.
a lot.
Deadpool. There's Deadpool
That makes me think
news.
of Deadpool. Yeah,
Yeah, Deadpool news. Deadpool
on Deadpool
3
3.
is coming out, apparently. I completely forgot about Deadpool 3. I thought it
I
was just going to be Deadpool 1 and 2.
I saw one news article. Yeah,
Mm.
I saw one news article, but I didn't actually end up reading it. I was just like, it just got me excited. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Deadpool 3's happening. It's just like a
Yeah.
reminder.
I
Like I
saw
didn't actually check
there
out
was
any of
something on
it.
Instagram where I'm pretty sure it was from Ryan Reynolds' Instagram account where it was it said that it won't be Disneyified, which is
Oh, that's what I heard. I'm like, thank goodness.
thank the Lord and sweet Lord above,
Oh no, I
allegedly.
remember you mentioned that in a group chat
Oh
because
yeah.
I remember saying like I'm like I wanted to hear Deadpool sing like Let It Go, except the Deadpool version. But I guess then again they can still do that without having to
Yeah,
Disneyfy
but
the whole show.
they could. They could. It'd probably just be like a
What
parody
was,
of. It'd probably be a musical, to be honest. I'd really love it
well,
for it
yeah,
to be
but
like a small little musical note
that'd
where
be
he just
brilliant.
parodies all of that. But
Yeah. Oh, also
apparently,
on that
sorry.
though, yeah.
Go
No,
ahead.
go on. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I will go ahead. I was just gonna say though, on like Disneyfying things, doesn't really make sense because if you've seen the latest Doctor Strange, yeah, that's
No, I
like,
haven't.
whoa. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything about it, but like, okay, it's a little bit non PG-13.
Ooh, is there a sex?
Mm. Oh no, but
Oh,
unfortunately not. But
damn.
there's a there's a there's a there's like a
Is there a
suicide.
death?
You know the start of Suicide Squad. You
Uh-huh.
know the start of Suicide Squad. There's basically that scene. Not
Huh.
at the start though. It's just there's a similar sort of a whoa violence happening. Wow, my eyes sort of thing.
Yeah, it
So that
seems
was
like a
cool.
lot of Disney shows have been getting a bit more violent recently. Like
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, that got pretty violent. like
Oh, yeah?
uncharacteristically
No? I
violent.
still...
Like a guy gets straight up
Oh,
sliced in half
fair enough.
by a gate.
Is this...
It's
Okay, well, I
pretty
mean, I
cool.
saw
Pretty
that
cool.
same thing happen in Mandalorian, but it was all
Yeah.
seen, it was all offset. Like, you didn't show this guy actually getting cut in half.
Oh
It
no,
was like,
it was
oh
a
yeah,
laser
he's
gate,
probably
and a
dead.
stormtrooper just straight up fell onto it.
Wow. Okay. Well, they had that kind of stuff in the, not the old films, but didn't they have that in the prequel films?
Oh, they had that in the prequel films, but the prequel films
Like
weren't
that
Disney
kind of,
yet.
people getting cut up and hands getting cut off. Yeah, true.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, what were you saying about the Deadpool 3 news? I was interested
Oh,
because I haven't actually heard much.
Deadpool. Thanks for getting me back on topic. Deadpool 3. I'm having a look at an article now. It says it's going to be a fish out of water story, which basically means like it's going to be this. Like everyone else is the straight man, and he is the comedic center, pretty much, because it's going to be in the MCU. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it is.
So, so it's not exact. So he's almost like he's sort of the main character, but at the same time, it's sort of
Yeah,
maybe
he's
just
going to
like
be
a
the main
narrator for
character in it, but it's going to be like he feels like he doesn't fit in because he's just been literally thrown into the MCU because of because of probably he's just going to be talking about corporate side of it, to be honest.
Sweet. Well, that's the thing is, I mean, are there any other Marvel characters in the new Deadpool 3?
I'm not
If
sure. I don't
if
think
they're
it's actually
properly
been.
connecting it,
I'm actually going to look up.
anything's much confirmed.
Is Deadpool 3 in the MCU? It will be an installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yay!
Sweet.
First plot details. Ooh.
Oh yeah,
It doesn't have a public
I've
release
heard
date
literally
yet.
nothing
Quickly
about it,
becoming
so
one of
I'm
the
just.
most anticipated movies on Marvel Studios slate. Plot details under wraps.
I mean,
And
yeah,
cast that's still
uh,
being assembled. Okay. So the cast
'cause I'm
isn't
gonna
fully
be
together
honest.
yet.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. I'm guessing they've cast Deadpool though.
I'd
Hmm.
assume Ryan Reynolds would be Deadpool.
I've got a strong hunch about that one. Yeah. I just feel like he'd
Do you
crush
remember
he'd
back?
crush that
You remember
audition.
back when what's it
Back
called?
when he played Green Lantern.
No, just back when he played Green Lantern, and everyone's like, "Wow, Ryan Reynolds is a terrible
Yeah.
actor." And then there was like that test footage for Deadpool that came out, or that was leaked onto the internet, and everyone went, "This needs to be made now." And I think the only reason for that was because of the Deadpool video game, which I really love.
Oh, wasn't it?
It might have been like the Deadpool video game that like re-sparked Deadpool after the
Oh yeah.
shitty version of him in X-Men Origins. And then
Oh, that was just.
that was I think that's just hilarious now. Like it's just that it really got to
Well,
the point
when I look back,
where
I'm
a
like,
director said, well no,
yeah,
it wasn't a director, it was like the head at Fox or whatever that was just like, I don't like him. Make him an idiot. I don't know.
yeah, and it's like let's just hire one of the greatest comedians of all time and like stitch his mouth shut and just have like 2 scenes with him.
Hmm.
Sound good? And he'd just be like a shirtless guy with big swords that stick out his arms and shoots lasers out of his eyes. Deadpool, the Deadpool we know and love. So
Hmm.
that was like, wow. Or wasn't he called Weapon X? I mean, same kind of idea, but I think they were actually referring to him as like Weapon X or something.
Hmm. Apparently, the writers
The-
were in a chat with the person, like the people doing this article. And apparently, they're talking about how like they joked about working a Morbius joke into the Deadpool 3, and I think that would be hilarious if they did that. But it will be at least 3 years after
I-
Morbius came out.
yeah, I don't know. I think Jared Leto's got a bit of an emo streak. He's gonna take that one.
Oh, he had an emo streak
But
when he did Suicide Squad, the first one.
yeah,
He
yeah, fair enough.
continued that
I mean,
emo streak with his
I
weird sex
definitely.
cult on an island.
Excuse me, what?
You haven't heard about the Jared Leto
That was a
island
reference I
sex
didn't.
cult?
No, I don't. I'm not. No, I haven't.
Hang on, I'm gonna go on to the
A topic
incognito
for another chat.
window.
No, let's just do it now.
Jared
Mm.
Leto sex cult. How about that? Well, there's allegations against him. Yeesh. So there's photos emerged of the Twitter account on Mars Island. Yeah, they're Oh Jesus!
Interesting.
He straight up got the full on
Uh,
long hair, big beard, and he's in a white robe, but he's got a baseball cap on backwards. This is
okay,
amazing.
what? Actors,
So,
celebrities,
you can
musicians. I don't know. That's just very.
you can go to Jared Leto's island with a 3-day weekend package costing up to $6,500.
Take my money. Yeah,
And
no.
he performs at his
Hang
band
out with the
called
vampire.
Church of Mars.
Touch of Mars is
Of
it
which,
kind of like, is it like the film 30 Seconds to Mars, but just him?
yeah, 30 Seconds to Mars is his band, but he's got a
So his
subsidiary
is
of
just
that
Church of
band
Mars.
called Church of Mars. And in 2013, 30 Seconds to Mars said, yes, this is a cult. And then, since 2015, the band has held
It's
annual
official.
summer camps for the truly devoted. Hey.
Truly devoted.
Apparently, there's
Fascinating. So he's
rumors
become
of
his
alleged sexual misconduct. Whatever that may mean.
misconduct. We can't be having that on a vampire island. No, not a good idea. Yeah, no, I don't know. Jared Leto never really did it for me. I've never seen him in a movie
No.
role where I've only seen him as the Joker and in the trailer for Morbius, and the trailer for Morbius was all I needed to see, to be fair.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd leave it at that. But
It's very, very,
he's
very,
a
very
dude.
unnerving.
He's a
I should
guy.
say.
I just think that some of these people are really, very very out there individuals. I suppose I don't know how else to describe it. Like just it's still funny to think about Ezra Miller like hitting a woman and then running away as fast as he can. Because he's the Flash.
I think the Flash probably did that once. And let's have a. I think
except
it's
if the
sort
Flash
of,
did it, it'd be more like the boys again.
It's just getting to the point where Ezra Miller is just. It's just sad. Oh my God! There's a new accusation. There's a new accusation.
That's my theory, man. Like, I think I've got like a theory, like that. They say like fame does stuff. It either makes you like a really cool person, like like Johnny Depp or like Robert Downey Jr. or like Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds kind of guy, or you end up becoming an Amber Heard / Amber Turd,
or you become
or
Ezra
I'm
Miller,
not gonna dive into that too much.
Who was
Or Ezra
accused
Miller, or you
of.
start
He's
an
been
island
accused of housing
cult.
children on a farm with guns and marijuana. Accused of. So we don't know.
Michael Jackson revisited. Interesting.
Yeah.
Except plus marijuana, so it's just even better.
And people
That's
are,
so wow.
yeah. So I don't think we're going
Interesting.
to be. I probably won't watch the new Flash film if it's gonna. Because
I didn't even know there was going to be a Flash film. I can't even.
It's been. Apparently, it's been in the works for a while.
I mean, like the guy can act, but apparently that's all he can do as a functional member of society.
He was in Peacemaker, bro. Like, come on, bro.
I haven't watched Peacemaker.
Oh, that's an amazing.
I still haven't seen that.
An amazing show. Did you want? I mean, to have the ending, like the last scene spoiled?
No. What the heck?
It's not like a plot spoiler, but it's like a really cool thing that happens.
Oh, okay. Why not? I don't know.
Basically, at the end of Peacemaker, like in the last episode, they're trying to get people to help them, but no one's coming. So they have to like go through this giant compound of people by themselves. I'm not going to explain who these people are because then it's a shitty spoiler. But Spoiler alert: the good guys win. They win a
Interesting.
thing
Is
that
Peacemaker one of
happens,
the good guys?
and yes, Peacemaker is one of the good guys. Well, he's an anti-hero, but he's got
Sort
to
of.
be
He's
he's got
a
to be good at this
confused
point.
lad.
And then after they've
Yeah.
done it all, and after like they're all covered in blood and walking out, then all of a sudden you just see this lightning happen, and then it's just four of the Justice League, and it's got Jason Momoa and Ezra
I
Miller
knew it.
reprising their roles, but the
Oh,
other two,
wow.
they weren't able to do it. They weren't able to do it. Gal Gadot, I'm not sure
Right.
why, but Henry Cavill, he's still in contract with Netflix, so he can't show his face in anything else.
He's doing some mustache work. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but he's like Netflix owns the rights to his face, and if anything else uses it, then they're gonna get sued. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So yeah,
Oh,
that,
did
and
you
then it's
see?
like, oh, it's just really good. It's just a really good bit.
See that thing that video Ryan Reynolds released, I don't know, between the other day and 2 months ago, and it was just him. It was like a 40-second long video, and he just apologizes and gets a cup of water and drinks it, and it's just really bad CGI blocking up where a mustache would be on his face. And it's just like extruded, like, and it's. I don't know. I feel like he was having a dig at Henry Cavill still. I don't know why, but like that's
Well, I'm not
the only thing I could
surprised. Like
really
that
associate that
entire
with.
saga of like him not being able to shave his mustache because he was in a film.
Yeah, he's like, I can
Do you know
literally
which one
break
it
the fourth
is?
wall, and we still got better films than you guys. What's that?
Do you know which
Oh,
video it is?
Justice League.
Which
Oh,
video
the
though?
I don't know. It just popped up in my feed, and I was like, what's this? Uh, let's see. I think it's just called I'm Sorry.
Oh.
I think it's just called I'm Sorry. It's it's weird watching him use.
There's
I
one.
don't know.
There's just.
Really
I
bad
just get recommended a video
effects.
that's it's from the film The Voices, and it's just it just says I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry scene. Oh, there it is. I'm so sorry
Oh, I
about
can
this.
see
That's
that.
from
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. I said it was between now and 2 months, but more like 2 years. When did the Justice League film come out? I'm sure it was more relevant when. I'm so sorry about this.
Justice League. Where did that came out? 2017, didn't it?
Said doesn't make you feel like a superhero. There you go. Did you watch it?
I watched it, and it looks like it definitely just looks like a Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justice League came out
Yeah.
2017.
It's just
Jesus
everything
Christ.
is a Ryan Reynolds show.
It's been so long
Yeah, and I
since
was
that
looking at
came
that like.
out. You're kidding me, bro.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, with Deadpool
Oh,
3 being a
but on DC.
sequel, what's that?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
DC, yeah, on DC and all that. But with also Deadpool 3 being a sequel, it seems like there's a lot of sequels coming out within the next few years. One of them being The Joker 2, which will no doubt have at least a single incel in the audience when it comes out. There's a bit of news that's come out about
Yeah.
it, which I think is absolutely hilarious. And would you like to know what that bit of news is?
Heck yeah! I didn't even know they were making a Joker 2. To be honest, I
Well,
loved the first one,
you
but
don't really need to do a second Joker film, but with the amount of money that it
I don't
made,
see why you would. But why not? Yeah,
sheesh.
they just
Well,
gotta try not to mess up what
there
they've
has been an
built,
addition to the
established. Yeah.
cast. Have a guess as to who has joined the cast for the Joker 2. Everyone at home do so as well. Okay,
Nick Nolte.
it's a woman. Just keep that in mind.
Who's the chick that played Captain Marvel?
It's not Brie Larson, no.
Thank goodness. Okay, I was hoping it wasn't, but I mean, I was like, I'm not sure.
You will not guess this for
I
your
don't know,
life.
Hayden.
It is Lady
Who is it?
Gaga.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Gaga's in the Joker 2?
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What?
As a
Why? I
co-star.
have.
As a co-star.
as a
So
co-star. Is she gonna be Harley Quinn?
I, if she is, that sounds.
Imagine.
Yeah, it says on here.
Heck yeah.
She's not committed, but in the midst of making a deal to play well, if the reporter's sources are accurate, Harley Quinn. So
Yes.
she,
No, I can see that. She likes dressing up, so it would work perfect.
but she's taking away from Margot Robbie. Well, come on, bro.
Oh yeah, but Margot Robbie's got her own. Like Jared Leto was the Joker, so they're not really connected. It's like the way I see it is, you got two kind of parallel universes, and one of them's the weak universe where they do all the doc superhero stuff like Justice League and
Mm,
Suicide Squad. And I know a lot of people really like Birds of Prey. It was better than Suicide Squad, the first one. I'll give it that. Second, that was amazing, in my opinion. There was no story, but it was really good. And then you got the other universe where it's kind of like actually serious. You got Batman at
There's a second.
strict.
There's a second half to this bit of news as well, which I find amazing. Is that the Joker
That's it.
2 might be a sequel? Might be not a. It will be a sequel. It will be a sequel. I promise. But apparently, it might be a musical.
That's that could work. I mean, if it's Lady Gaga, like they have
Could
to put some
work
music in it.
if it's
It could.
done
I say
right.
could. They
If
have
it's
to. It's going to
done
be a
right.
dark and twisted music.
Yes.
Can Joaquin Phoenix sing? I'm looking that up. It auto. I think it heard what I said, obviously, to the mic. Thanks, Google. Going back to that Google becoming an AI thing. But
So he's
on top of the guitar,
so the writer
huh?
or the co-writer, sorry, the co-writer of the Joker 2 posted a photo of the cover of the script. And there's an
Oh,
extra image of like Mr. Phoenix himself reading the script. And the title is called Joker Folie à Deux, which is French for a mental illness, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the subtitle referring
fair
to
enough.
a
He does
mental
have a mental
disorder.
illness.
Referring to a mental disorder, where's it gone? That affecting two or more people. So
Ah.
it might be about how
Oh,
he.
okay.
So it might be about how
I think
he
it's yeah.
like
How he meets.
influences a bunch of people in a way.
I'm guessing it's also going to be like definitely to do with Harley Quinn coming. Is she? Because she's
Probably, yeah.
totally insane as well, isn't she?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she pretty much
I
gets
mean,
Stockholm syndrome from someone that she is keeping captive.
yeah.
Like she goes from
That's the thing.
being
Is
like
so
a
because
mental health doctor to becoming obsessed with someone because they're just so
so instead of
sad
her
or how they
fixing
think.
him, he just unfixed her.
Pretty much, yeah.
I suppose
Just so that he
it's
could get
like
out of prison.
yeah,
Which is why anyone who says that those two are completely compatible, they're lying or they don't know what they're talking about. It's one
right.
of those things. It's one of those things where you know.
Mm. Just one of those things. One of those awkward moments where your patient makes you lose patience and you just become mentally incapable of handling. Yeah, no, I just don't like that situation.
Mm.
No, it's not. It's not nice. Yeah,
Um.
Joker 2. No, I would definitely watch that. I really liked what they did with the Joker because it wasn't a superhero film at all, and I thought that was interesting, especially considering they're taking like the biggest character from the whole Batman. You know?
Yeah. I'd say. Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
say
So it was
that.
like, well,
I'd say that out of all of Batman's villains, the Joker is probably the most interesting and the most
mm,
well-rounded character, apart from the
yeah,
Riddler.
yeah.
Because
True,
I think the
true.
Riddler
That was
done
pretty
right
good.
is way better than yeah.
Yeah. Except Jim Carrey's acting days are over. Apparently, for a bit. I don't know. He wants to stop with Sonic 2, which has already been done. So
Yeah. Oh,
looks like the rest of y'all will have to watch the new
the
Batman film.
yeah, the new Batman. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, the new Batman is amazing.
Oh
I
boy! Oh
know
boy!
it
Oh boy!
came out When did it come out? June, May, April, March. May, April, March. It
Yeah,
came out
so still plenty of
three
time
months
for you
ago.
guys.
Pretty much on. I'm pretty sure it's on DVD. I know it's on HBO. Is Batman on DVD, or are they not putting it on DVD anymore? Oh no, it's
Surely.
on
Oh no,
DVD.
no, hang on. It's
It's
you
on
can
DVD now.
you
You can
can
get it
get
on
it off
Blu-ray.
like PlayStation Store.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
my
get it
mom
on
just watched it the other night
you
off of
can get
like
it on
PlayStation.
streaming
Yeah.
services and now. Yeah, it's the best
Hmm.
film. It's the best Batman film I've ever watched, and I've watched The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I've watched that like 12 years ago, but
Yeah, I haven't seen The Dark Knight for a while, but it's very well done. I honestly found some of it confusing, like the plot.
oh
Like I
yeah,
struggle to focus in movies in
it
general,
is kind of
but
confusing, but
it's still good.
you just gotta.
Yeah, like pretty much just gonna even just absorb, like soak in that atmosphere that they put there. Soak in those vibes, those Gotham vibes. That's it's worth just doing that. You could just listen to the dialogue, not even watching it. Just be like, this is Batman. It's yeah, it's
Mm.
really cool.
So this brings me
I think
back to the Batman because there's been like there's a sequel already being like written and I'm pretty sure it's finished being written.
already.
Yeah, or something
Oh
like
wow,
that. I
okay,
don't know.
cool.
Well, it's been 3 months since the film came out. I think they would have had a sequel at
Yeah,
least been starting
they've
to be
got
written
plenty to
before it
work
came
with.
out. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I remember before the film came out that there was a bunch of rumors that Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz did it on the Batmobile.
I did hear about that. Yeah,
I think I told you
is
about
that
that or something like
the
that.
Batmobile?
Yeah, on the
Yeah, I
Batmobile.
reckon.
I didn't realize that originally originated from 4chan, and the actual post on 4chan looks like complete bullshit. So I don't think it's
Yeah,
true because there's going to be a sequel, probably a third sequel as well, or a part of the trilogy, and I don't think they'd go ahead with the trilogy of Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz porked.
yeah, on the Batmobile, in the
On the
Batmobile. I mean,
Batmobile.
that's pretty cool. Like, I mean, the Batmobile. So, if that doesn't turn you on, then
Turn me on like a light switch.
I liked what they did with the Batmobile. Even just like little details like that, it felt somewhat different to how they'd often done the Batmobile in other Batman films.
Hmm.
Batmobile 2022. Yeah. Oh well, just even like honestly, one of my favorite parts of the film, as weird as it sounds, was just the start where he's kind of
Oh,
dialoguing,
that was
narrating.
amazing.
Yeah, and they just it goes into it, and it just the atmosphere they had there, and the soundtrack was pretty cool. When he just comes out and beats up, that's cool.
Oh, I love the soundtrack. It's amazing.
And the costume, I gotta say,
Oh, it looks.
I like the cape.
I like the way that it doesn't go over the mouth at all, or like the chin. It's really good to have like that really defined Batman chin.
Oh, and especially as it is it's Robert Pattinson's skin as well. So,
Yeah,
but
like that chin could
but it's
that could impregnate me. Like,
yeah, just kid. But I was also thinking like I like the cape. I like how it kind of comes up a little bit towards his neck.
hmm.
I don't know. It's a weird little detail to notice, but I
I
don't think
think
it's
the
something that they've
only
done
thing I
before.
don't like about that whole like the film is that Robert Pattinson didn't like bulk up or anything. He just sort of kept eating normally and didn't like go to the gym
Oh,
as much as they recommended him because
doesn't seem fair. Like
he like
Ben
when he's
Affleck,
out
man.
of the suit, he didn't look right. He was just like
Oh, as
he was
Bruce
almost
Wayne,
looked
yeah,
malnourished, which I mean
it was odd, but
it would make sort of sense like him being a depressed man,
like
like
and
Bruce Wayne
young
being
Batman, maybe I
depressed
don't
for
know.
like 20 years of his life, 30 years of his
But
life.
he's also like channeling all of that into
Mm.
being, fighting crime. So you think
And
if
you
that's his
can
whole,
tell in the
'cause-
film that
yeah,
he's not good at fighting yet. Like I think in the third film he's going to
yeah.
be like beating up an entire room of people in like 2 seconds
But
flat.
he's he's also terrible at being a normal person as Bruce Wayne. Like you
Yeah,
can't really act
definitely.
it. He's still so So it's like because he's young, he's figuring that out. You'd think if his whole personality was based around beating up people in a giant like furry costume, you'd think he'd at least want to do some push-ups
Mm.
or something, or like bench a
Like,
bit more.
take it from me. I don't even need a furry costume to beat people up. Anyway,
Purely inspirational.
So I don't need to cover my face to beat the shit out of people, you know? I just do it, you know?
Because you're comfortable. You've accepted who you are. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
that's who I
accept
am.
that I'm
I'm
a
a
piece of
jerk.
shit.
I'm a bad person.
I'm a bad person, but I like
That's
helping the
okay.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm doing it exactly. It's like Robin Hood, except
Robin
I don't
Hood,
know.
but you just straight up bash their skull
Imagine
in.
Robin Hood, but he's communist. Wait, is that not kind of
What?
Robin Hood? I don't know. Well, I mean,
Bruh.
like,
You just straight up ruined a bunch
Robin
of
Hood is
capitalist
just
kids' brains right then. Just
Robin Hood is just
no.
Vladimir Putin dressed up as a fox, confirmed.
Oh, you're talking about Robin Hood, like the cartoon Robin Hood. Oh,
I was
you're a little
thinking, I was
cultured
thinking of
boy,
the
aren't
character
you?
actually, because I've always thought of him as a character. You know, I forget that he was an actual like person.
He
Like
wasn't.
he's a fox. What are
He
you
was
talking about?
Robin Hood
Ro-
wasn't an actual
Robin Hood.
person.
I'm pretty sure he was.
No, he wasn't.
But he has. They have his proper like treehouse in. Okay, I was pretty sure that
He wasn't
he
as
is
good
kind of
as
what do you
people.
call it,
He
like
was just sort of
mythology.
like he was just sort of like vibing, you know.
Oh, okay, so no, not quite the way he's portrayed, but I was pretty sure he was like
Hmm.
based off of a real guy. I'm not sure.
Actually, I think
It's tricky
actually,
to
never
know with
mind. I
some of
think
that,
he
isn't it?
was. Yeah, yeah. Legendary heroic
I think
outlaw,
that's why we have
originally depicted in English folklore and subsequently featured in literature and film, according to legend.
yeah. So and because then
Yeah.
again, it's from a while ago, so it's what 19th century historians discovered many records attached to the name Robin Hood. So we tend to assume. Oh no, but then they reckon there's probably no single person in the historical record who inspired the popular stories. I don't know. They could just be stories, but that's why we have stuff like what do they call it? You know, like Lovecraft
Hmm.
mythos. Because I'm pretty sure isn't mythology where it's like oh it's not technically historical fact. Obviously, we don't have enough to support that, but we don't know if it's not that in a
Hang on,
way.
I'll look up
It's like
the
so it's not
meaning.
necessarily.
Mythology meaning.
Yeah, I
A
don't know. That's
collection
what
of
I've heard.
myths, each
Something like
one,
that.
especially one belonging to particular religions or cultural tradition.
A myth, and a myth is a traditional story, especially one concerning the early history of a people or explaining a natural social phenomenon.
Hmm.
But
So
so because they have
mythology
so
is
much
a
supernatural
collection of
stuff,
myths, and myths is like a
basically a supernatural story, a cultural story
sort
used to
of.
explain.
Yeah, myths usually
Honestly,
are
yeah,
used for the purpose of teaching people something, whether it's
yeah.
like a
So like
lesson
in
or anything.
folklore and
Like
stuff.
we would
Yeah,
talk about how, why did the armadillo get its spots or something like that, or it's like why is there rain,
yeah.
and it's sort
Made
of
up
like a
stories like
religious
that and stuff.
slash traditional thing. Like there's like a bunch of those kids books where it's like what's the yeah,
Hmm.
kids books where it's like it relates something that kids understand, like oh uh like becoming, I don't know, being put in a cage
You know, like
as a result of
yeah,
like
or like
lying to someone or something. I don't know.
yeah. I think that's a lot of stuff. Like as well. What do they call it? I was actually watching a Netflix episode of the show explained on that. Really interesting. But
Hmm.
like basically the origin of stuff like Cinderella, and they were making a difference between you got like fantasy fictional stories. What would they call it? Fairy tales. Yeah, a fairy tale's somewhat separate to I think what they call fables. Fables is
But the
like
Aesop's
I think
fables.
it's yeah, but I think fable is a term for like what you're describing. You know, it's got a moral. Like it's like
Yeah,
oh, don't do this. Oh no, actually, hang on. I
and a
think
myth
fable's
is
got
just
like a
sort of
moral.
like a regurgitated story that gets passed down, whether or
Yeah,
not it's true or not.
you know, don't make a funny face or the wind when the wind changes, or you'll be stuck like that forever.
Yeah, that's sort yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah,
Yeah, don't
wives'
cross
tales
your
and
eyes,
stuff. There's
otherwise you'll
lots of
get
different.
stuck like that or something.
Yeah, that's why
Mythos
when you see all
meaning.
these people on the internet with like permanently crossed eyes. It's because the wind changed. It's not because they were born with it. It's because the
The
wind
thing is,
changed
it's
when they
like
were
there's
born.
myths, mythology, and a mythos. And the mythos is a traditional or recurrent
I thought.
narrative theme or plot structure. So
Oh, okay.
mythos is lore, pretty much like LORE lore. Hang on, lore
Yeah,
meaning
it's saying it's also borrowed from Greek
body of
mythos,
traditions
so
and
like
knowledge of a
utterance,
subject or held by a
speech,
particular group, typically passed from person to person by word of
yeah,
mouth. Yeah, the jinns of Arabian
utterance,
lore.
speech,
Yeah.
discourse, tale, narrative, fiction, legend of obscure origin. And I think because when you say mythos and it's like an obscure origin, that's why they're not. That's why they call it mythos, because it's like they're not entirely sure if it's fact or fiction. Like it's obviously highly likely that it's fiction,
Yeah, or it's like
but it's like
like a
because
mysterious ancient sort of thing. Like
yeah, and
have
you
you
think
seen like
about
the
where did this
YouTube series
originate?
The Monument Mythos?
No.
It's basically like an alternate reality thing where or an alternate timeline where like lots of American or like monuments in the world are hiding something. And there's
Oh
one
yeah.
where it's like the Statue of Liberty like it doesn't open up, like it slides off of its platform, and then there's like this
Right.
weird tree worm thing that comes out of it. And like apparently those tree
Ah.
worms, they if you
Tree
touch them, they send you to a different timeline. And there's like it's sort of like
Interesting. I
it's a
thought.
way of explaining how like people misremember certain things, like, and then like it's because they've touched one of
Oh,
these trees and just forgotten. But it's like it's complete, like it's created by
fascinating.
what's his name? Monument Mythos video.
That's not.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
what's it called? Hang on, I'm gonna have to look. Liberty Lurker.
that's cool.
My favorite video. I've shown
Yeah,
you. I think I showed you one video from it. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure I showed
maybe.
you one video,
Perhaps, I'm not sure.
but the other ones are.
Yeah,
It's just so much. Like there's
there's a lot.
2 seasons of what's like of the actual proper Monument Mythos, and then oh my god, they've started a new. Oh my no! Oh no! They've started a new series called the Nixon Verse. I'm not sure what it's about, but I don't think it's Monument Mythos. Basically,
It's a mess.
yeah, the Monument Mythos is about a bunch of these monuments that hide something, and then it's just a bunch of monuments that they're like SCPs, pretty much. Like SCP stuff.
Yeah, I've heard of
Yeah,
all that,
they're
like the
like
monsters and the.
anomalous entities, pretty much.
Okay, yeah, I've heard about a lot of them in like trapped in. They've been, I suppose, they're being tested on like Area 51 and something sort of thing.
Yeah,
Basically,
I
what's
think
inside Area
my
51? Well,
favorite SCP is the Infinite IKEA, where there's a certain
I've heard of that.
IKEA in, I'm pretty sure it like the lore of it is that it's in Sweden, and if you go into it, as soon as you lose track of where the doors are, you will pass out and then wake up, and then you're just in an infinite IKEA and you can't get out. And you get transported
Wow.
to like this secondary SCP, which is the infinite IKEA. And I think that's just the funniest thing ever. It's just
As long
like
as
you
they've
could go
got
to an
meatballs there,
IKEA
like,
and then you just pass out and wake up and you can't get out. It's sort of like the back
as long
rooms
as you
sort
can
of
make your
thing.
way to the food court. I could live in IKEA if I could make my way to the food court. See, I'd set up my own little Raskog trolley next to my door knob, chair thing on a little other Swedish word for a table, whatever, and I just live there. And I just set up that bed. I just did like build it myself after a few failures, and I could
Mm.
just live in IKEA. I'll just hang out at the playground every day, get some exercise, eat my Swedish meatballs. I could do that. I could do that. Do a lot worse. Play in the ball pit maybe when after hours.
Just imagine,
Like, I
like,
mean,
you
you're not
get
supposed to go in that
transported to this
anymore, but
infinite IKEA and you just hear this, like, shuffling sound. And you go towards it and it's just another guy who got trapped in there in a ball pit. You just
terrifying.
start vibing with him. It'd be like
So
getting
everyone's
transported to the back rooms, but instead of any sort of like monster, it's just a guy who tells you like just cool stories.
like,
Have you seen that as well? The back
but
room
he's just
sort of
living
thing.
in the ball pit. No, I
Basically,
do not know
the
what you
the
speak.
back rooms. I think it's amazing. It's
Oh, hang on.
basically
No, I've heard a bit about it. But come on.
yeah. Ethan talks about it a lot as like jokes
I
and all
think
that.
I've heard a bit about
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
basically the back rooms is it's not a theory. It's pretty much like an alternate reality sort of thing again, where if you somehow manage to find a way to no clip out of the world in real life, you will get transported to the back rooms, like the back rooms, which is an infinite hallway or infinite hallways of weird shit. And it's just like there's things that come after you after a certain amount of
Oh,
time
wow.
and all that. And there's like games that have been
That's
made based off of it, and oh, it's amazing.
interesting.
Like there's someone made
So
like
it's
a
like if
whole
you could
YouTube
phase
series
through the
on it as
ground.
well. Like yeah, hang on, Backrooms.
Range.
Which video is it? It's called Backrooms Found Footage, but it's not actually. Copy link address.
Found footage of the actual real backrooms.
I'll send it to you. But yeah, basically, I really love the editing on these ones because it's like the found footage style is really, it's very like
Oh, yeah.
nostalgic, but it's scary at the same time as
Nostalgic.
well. I'd watch it
Okay.
from the like the start because I accidentally put it in the like a different time frame.
Sure. I'll watch a bit of it.
But all you need to watch is like the like first minute of it. It's very well done as like a scary sort of thing.
Oh, yeah? It's this dude wearing his funky mask.
You're wearing a funky mask, and then
Ooh.
it's just really sudden as well. I love it.
Alright. I'm checking this out. See? So he's
What
wearing his
time are you
mask.
at?
He's talking with this other dude. I'm still. Oh, whoa. Hang on. Okay, no, they just got transported into a yellow room. The camera did into the
Yeah,
back
that's
rooms.
the cameraman. This is the back rooms. It's just like those, liminal spaces. How it's like if you play like a multiplayer game, but you play it by yourself, you feel like you're just being watched or something. It's because you just sense that there's another
Right.
player in there, but there's not. And your brain just goes,
I
hey,
suppose, yeah.
someone's behind you, someone's behind you, someone's behind you. And then like this back rooms is pretty much just the embodiment of
That
that.
whole. Oh,
I like it on this
this is
podcast we're
cool.
using visual
Creepy.
elements.
Yeah, we've added. Exactly.
Yeah,
We gotta
I might actually just put
heal
some
some.
like just a few bits of videos and stuff to put into it. Seems like a good idea.
Why not? Yeah. Yeah, we'll just show random clips of like Rick and Morty, pictures of Deadpool 3, and just get just get Rick and Morty saying "Wub up, dub dub."
Yeah.
This footage.
Oh, pardon me.
Okay, that's creepy, but it's a 9-minute video, so I might leave that one for now.
Yeah.
But yeah. Do you reckon here's a good spot to wrap it up for our audience, so they can go and watch this creepy video and creep themselves
Yeah.
out?
I mean, I think a lot of people have watched the Backrooms, but yeah, the Backrooms is like
Okay.
like the Monument Mythos and the Backrooms. I might actually send you what's the word? Analysis on the Monument Mythos
Ah.
by a good
Okay.
YouTuber that hopefully we might be able to get onto the
Yep.
podcast. Mr. Isaiah Wendigoon. I'll try and see if there it is.
Wendigoon. Yeah, you did mention this man.
Yeah, this man
I've
who
heard of this man.
he just covers the most weirdest shit.
The monsters beneath us.
Yeah, this
Okay,
this
well,
is a
I'll
whole
make sure to check that out.
3-hour video. That's another video. I'll link the Backrooms, the monsters beneath us, and probably just a few other things that we've been talking about in the description, so you can check them all out if you so wish.
Cool. This conversation will be continued eventually.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to talk with the Mr. Wendigoon himself about all of these different things. Hopefully he's seen the Backrooms.
Yeah, it's
and if he doesn't respond, then doesn't matter. We'll wait.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh,
It's not
cool.
a guarantee, but he's known
But
to
that's okay.
he's known
You
to
got
collab
us.
with smaller people, so it's always good.
Yeah. But you do have us.
Yeah,
So
you do have us. Two
we'll always
Australians,
do our best.
two idiots, potentially a
Well,
third
speak for
idiot
yourself.
soon.
Yeah, I'm developing. I'm
yeah.
working on a new personality who will also
that's
therapist.
what I meant.
But
We could
also the
potentially
idiot. Yeah,
get
we're bringing him in
Mr.
soon.
Mr. Atlas on,
That's just
or we'll,
in
we'll cover
case.
with him
Yeah,
whether
but just in
whether he
case
wants his
Wendigoon.
name leaked.
Yeah,
Not
but just
full
in case
name,
Wendigoon
obviously,
doesn't work.
but yeah, just in case we can't get Wendigoon on, we'll get the other boy Atlas in.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk
And
about
I'm also
even more
developing a
stuff.
conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much what
Well,
Wendigoon does. He's got a full like MLK, like Martin Luther King conspiracy theory on his video, and it's just I just find it hilarious how he can just put it on there, and then YouTube is like, "Yep, looks good."
you know what? Yeah, sure. Why not? Someone's gonna ask these
Just like
questions. You know,
it's like YouTube's just like, "Yep, the CIA killed Martin Luther King." Yep, true. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, I've heard about that. Oh no, not the Martin Luther thing, but yeah. No, fair enough.
Oh, yeah, but a bunch of his stuff, it's not like him just saying it. It's just like he brings the evidence and doesn't say it.
Yeah,
it's
he's
like-
not just gonna have an opinion. He's just gonna.
No, yeah, he's
Yeah.
not
So
having an
this is
opinion.
the evidence. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good. To keep play it safe. You know. Yeah.
yeah, it's a good way to do it. It's something that I'd like to do eventually. Talk about just very, very odd topics that you just sort of forget about. Like there's like
pretty much.
one recently that he did about a siege that the FBI conducted on a weird religious cult, and then the CIA pretty much just killed a bunch of children by accident.
Whoopsie daisy. Accidents happen.
Whoopsie daisy, and then everyone forgot about it. And I didn't even know about it until I heard like watched the video.
Oh wow.
America's crazy, bro.
Well,
then again, Australia's probably
crazy,
done worse shit. Like what happened to Rob Hawke.
This is why we like talking about America here in Australia, because
because it's like we go, yeah, we can just see it. But who was that?
Oh, American politics is
there was
faker than American
what's it
cheese,
called?
bro.
True. Who was the Oh my god, there was a prime minister, Australian prime minister, who just got lost out at sea or something. Who was that?
I don't know, but that's definitely a topic we gotta write that one down. We gotta write down the lost at sea topic.
Ah, yeah.
For when we bring in Mr. Wendigoon.
Okay, I found it.
Right.
I found the thing.
Well,
we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it in the next episode.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. That was actually pretty good, the second half. We did have to cut a little bit out because I just stopped listening pretty much, but it'll get better. Really it'll get better.
We added this massive chunk at the end, so that was fine. That was pretty.
Yeah, we've added an extra hour pretty much, so we could. Righty then. So that was the end of the first episode of the Unclubbable Podcast. We are not so sociable, and we will see you next time.